Hello sweeties, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful Victoria corset dress you are watching right now in this video. This video has a complete tutorial of this outfit. So guys, make sure you watch this video till the end. Don't skip any parts. I made this outfit with a 2.5 years of damask fabric spy 60 length. So go ahead and enjoy yourself, and remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you have not, and remember to share this video with your friends and families. Thank you so very much guys. Let's quickly get started. So I'll be cutting the upper part of my dress with this pattern paper. So I'll be starting my measurement from 6 inches. Where the tape is will serve as my neckline. That's from that 6 inches. Remember, this is an off shoulder. So from that 6 inches will be my neckline, followed by 8 inches, which is my bust line, 10.5 inches, which is my bust point, 14 inches, which is my under bust, and 17 inches, which is the last line, which will serve as my half length. So I will rule all the lines. So these are my vertical measurement. So on my neckline, I will input my shoulder measurement divided by 2 minus 1.5 inches. That's it right there. My shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2. So I will take the same measurement on my bust line. So I will now rule a line. Can you see? So this is actually my armhole line here. So I will go down to my half length. I will input my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus half an inch for sewing allowance. That will give me 4.5 inches. So I will take it to my bust line, then I will now connect the line together. So I will come to my neckline. I will take the same 4.5 inches. I will now extend the nipple to nipple line to my neckline. So the next thing I will take is my dart. I'm taking dart of 1.5 inches for the both side. So I will put this 1.5 inches on my half length line and my under bust line. 1.5 inches in and out. So from my bust line, I will come down by 1 inch. Sorry. Then I will go up by 3/4 inch. Then on my neckline, I will take 3/4 inch on the both sides. That's my darts. 3/4 inch darts on the both sides. So I will now connect the line from my half length to my under bust. So from my under bust, I will now create my dart curve. I will connect it to my neck. Hope you understand. It's very simple. This is just my darts. My dart curve. I'm connecting all the darts. Can you see what it look like? Not pointy at all. So the next thing I will do is to take all my horizontal measurements. So on my neckline, remember I've taken away 1.5 inches. So I will now replace the darts I'm cutting out. So on my bust line, I will take my bust circumference divided by 4. Then I will add the darts and my sewing allowance. So here I am going to add 4 inches allowance again because I'm cutting another dart. I'm creating another panel, because this is Victoria corset gown. So I will take all my measurements, then I will replace my dart, then add 4 inches on my bust line, my under bust, and my half length. So I will connect the lines together. Can you see that? Then I will now connect my armhole curve. So from my under bust, I will divide what I have from my under bust. I will divide it into two. Then I will rule a line down. That's my under bust right there. I divided what I have into two. So that's where I'm going to create another panel from. Then I will go ahead and take half inch for both, from both sides. My half length and my under bust, I'm taking half inch for my dart. So I will connect it to my bust line. Can you see what I'm doing? So my half length, that is the center front, I will go in by half an inch. I'm taking another dart there from my center front. So I went in by half an inch on my half length, my half length line. Then I connected it to the bust line. So I'll go ahead and cut the front part of my upper part of my gown. So I will be placing this on my fabrics and cut it out. So this is for the front part. Please remember to comment on whatever you do not understand on the comments box. Can you see? So I will number all my panels. This is 1, 2, 3. The center front, the two side front. So I'll go ahead and cut the back part. Remember, I'm still starting my measurement from 6 inches. So I'm taking 8 inches for my bust line and 17 inches for my half length. So I'll connect the lines vertically. Can you see? The two lines I have here is just the bust line and the half length line. So I'll go ahead and take 5.5 inches as my nipple to nipple measurement, because remember I'm adding zip allowance for the back. I'm using zip for this Victoria corset. I'm not tying it. So my half length, I will take my dart, which is half an inch for the both sides. So I'll connect it to the bust line. So on my neckline, I'm taking 7.5 inches, including the zip allowance. Remember the front, I inputted 6.5 inches. That's my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I minus 1.5 inches from it. So here I'm taking 7.5. The front was 6.5 because there was no zip allowance. So I will take my bust circumference on my bust line and my round waist on my waistline. So I will now connect my zip allowance line, which is 1 inch. Then I will rule the line. So I will connect my armhole line. Can you see? The back part is just 2 panels. The center back and the side back. I added 1 inch more. So I I came down by 1 inch at the center back because I don't want it to be straight. I created a little slope at the back neckline. So I'll go ahead and cut. So I'll cut all this with my lining, the main fabrics, and my hasty. Can you see the center back and the side back? So this is what it look like. This is the front part. I have 3 panels for the front. So I'll go ahead and cut all of them. Can you see? I'm cutting them on fold. I will cut the hasty, I will cut the lining. I'm ironing hasty on both the main fabric and the lining. So that is it about that. Can you see? I've ironed my hasty on all of them and my wording on the front parts. Can you see the center front, the side front? So I've ironed my hasty and my wording on them, both the back part, the lining. So all the pieces I have here is for the upper part of my dress. So can you see my number 1, number 2, and number 3? This is the front. So I will stitch all these threads together for one side of my front. So let me show you the pattern paper. Can you see it? So I'll attach number 1 to number 2, then number 2 to number 3. So that is what it is. So this is the 3. So I'll go ahead and stitch. So I will finish everything about the upper part before I will now go ahead and sew and cut the down parts. So I just have to do it step by step so that you understand it very well. So I will join the last one. That's number 3 to number 2. If you remember them, you will not mess it up. Can you see? Can you see the armhole parts? That is the center front. So I will join the other side. So I've joined the two fronts. So I'll go ahead and stitch them together. The center front, I will stitch them together. Can you see? Please guys, have you subscribed to my channel? Have you given this video a thumbs up? Please share this video so that others will see and learn from it. So I will stitch the center front together. Please, if you really want to know how to go about this beautiful dress, make sure you watch this video to the end. Please don't skip any parts. Thank you very much guys. Can you see? I've joined them together. So can you see what my dress is looking like? Can you see that? Isn't this beautiful? So I'll go ahead and give it a good press. Then I will trim out the sewing allowance. Can you see? I've done that already. I will do the same thing to the back parts of my dress. So the next thing I will do is to take my final trimming. So I will indicate my bust line, which is 8 inches. Then I will take that 6.5 inches for my neckline. Can you see? I will connect it to my neckline. Then connect my armhole curve. So on my bust line, I will take my bust circumference divided by 4. I will do the same thing to my half length. My round half length divided by 4 too. Can you see? So I will trim the back part too. So this is my armhole curve. Can you see what it looks like? So this is my front parts. Can you see the armhole? So I'm using these pieces I'm ironing. I'm going to be using it for my boning. This is my boning casing. So it's about 1 inch. It's about 1 inch width. So I folded one part. Just look at the way I'm going to be stitching it on my main dress. So I'm stitching with the parts I did not fold. Then I will now cover it with the parts I folded. So after stitching, I'll go ahead and cover it. I will stitch on top. Can you see that? So I will now close it. So I will go ahead and create as many bony casing as I want. I think I have about 9 bony casing for the front part. Then the back part I have about 4. Can you see? So this is where I will be inserting my bony, as you can see. Can you see that? I'm done stitching all my bony casing. So the next thing I will do is to cut the sleeve of this dress. So I didn't want to turn it before cutting it. I've done some part of my stoning. I stitch all the stones and the bead. I didn't just gum it. Can you see? I will use the armhole and cut the... I'll trace it with the armhole of the top of the blouse. So that's what I did there. So I'll cut the sleeve. So the length of my sleeve is about 12 inches with 14 inches wide. So the shoulder point of my sleeve, I came down by 3/4 inch because I want that part to be slopey. So I now connected it to the armhole part. So I will now go ahead and cut. Remember, the length of my sleeve is 12 inches and 14 inches width. Can you see? This is my sleeve. So I will iron haystay to the lining, then the thickest gum to the main fabrics. This is collar gum I use. It's very thick. So I iron it to the main fabrics. This my sleeve has a lining. So I will turn it. I will turn the down part with my lining. Can you see? So that's what I'm doing right now. I will stitch the down part, then I will top stitch. So I finished everything about the upper part of my dress before I will now go ahead and cut the down parts. Can you see? I will top stitch. Just watch what I'm going to do. So I will now iron it. Please make sure you iron very well. Can you see that? So I will open it, then I will fold it. I will join the side of my sleeve together. Hope you understand what I'm doing, because I don't want the sewing allowance to show, so I want it to be inside. So that's why I'm closing it like this. So I will notch so that it will be easier for me. Remember, I have a very thick cloth gum on this sleeve, so I will trim out the sewing allowance, then I will turn it. You can add crinoline to your sleeve, but I didn't add any, but it still came out well. Can you see my sleeve? So I'll go ahead and join them, stitch it together before I will now gather it. So I'll be gathering it with a loose stitch. You have to be very careful with these parts because of the cloth gum. You can decide not to iron your cloth gum to the upper part of to the shoulder parts, the upper part, so that it will be easier for you when you are gathering it. Can you see my two sleeve? So guys, we are almost through with our sleeve. So the next thing I will do is to cover the gathered parts. Can you see? So I folded these pieces, so I will now use it and cover the gathered area. So I will stitch it, then I will now cover it. Can you see? I'll now go ahead and cover the gathers with it. I iron it on fold. Can you see what our sleeve look like? So I'm done with the sleeve, so I'll keep it aside. Then I'll go ahead and turn the front part of my dress with the lining. So I'll go ahead and turn. I'm turning the neck part, so I'm not turning the armhole part. So after turning, I will top stitch. I will first of all notch. I will notch the stitched part. After notching, I will now top stitch. Can you see? I've done the stoning. So you have to stone it before you now cover it with the lining. So that's why I have to stone it first, because I don't want all the stitches to show inside. So please guys, take notes. So I will now cover it. Can you see? You can decide to cover all the front parts with stone. It all depends the amount of stone you have. Can you see? So all my boning has been inserted. So guys, we are done with everything concerning the upper part. So we'll go ahead and cut the down part, which is also the skirt part. So from my waistline, I will come down by 1 inch by 9 inches. This is all my vertical measurements. I'm taking all my vertical measurements first. So I took 20 inches for my knee length. So that is it right there. And the length of my skirts, the down part is 43 inches, including the sewing allowance. I'm cutting it with the lining, so I will later transfer it with the main fabrics. I'll use the lining to cut the main fabrics. This is white material. So I will take my waist measurement divided by 4. I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance, because I'm going to turn all the part of this skirt too, because I'm not weaving this dress. not weaving all this part. So I will take my hip measurement, I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance and for turning. So I will now connect my hip line, my waistline to my hip line, from my hip line to my knee line. Can you see that? So the down part, I will take the same measurement. Whatever I have around my nail, I will remove. Whatever I have around my hip, I will remove 1.5 inches from it. The same thing to my nail. So I will now draw the line straight down to the down part of my skirt. So I'll go ahead and cut. Can you see? So I'll cut the back part. So the difference between the back part and the front part is just the zip allowance. So I will slash the zip allowance open. So I'll go ahead and cut the main fabrics. So the main fabrics will be 1.5 inches longer than the lining. That's the down parts. That's why I have to show this part, because I'm turning the skirts with the lining. So this is the back part after I've cut the front part. So I'll notch the zip allowance for easy identification. So this is the front part. So I'll go ahead and cut. Can you see? We are done cutting our skirt. So the next thing I will do is to identify the opening. So I open up the front part of my skirt. You know, the skirt part has a slit. So I divided my waist into 3. So my waist is about 21 inches when I open it. The same thing with the down part. So I will divide it into 3. Then I have 7.5 inches. So I will now cut, because the slit is on the side. See, I will pick. This is 7 inches. Can you see what I'm doing? I'll pick it because the waist part and the down part is the same measurement. So I'll pick it, then I will now slash it open. So I'll open it to anywhere you want your slit to stop. So this is the lining. So what I have here is 7 inches. Can you see? So this is where I will now open. Remember I said I divided my waist into 3. What I have around my waist, I have 21, then I divided it by 3 because the slip is on the side. Can you see that? So I've opened it. So the next thing I will do is to place both the main fabrics and the lining. I will place the lining on top the main fabrics. Can you see that? So I'm bringing it close so that you see what I'm doing, because I want the slit to be a little bit wider. So I will now draw a line that looks like a dot. You see, the down part is just 1 inch. So I will now cut it. Can you see my slits? So after that, I will now go ahead and turn the skirt with the lining. So I'm going to turn the two sides. I will stitch the down part, then I will turn it. I will turn, I will stop, I will stitch and top stitch. Can you see? So I'll go ahead and give it a good press. Can you see? So you know why I have this folding is because the main fabrics is longer than the lining. So always make sure that you cut your dresses well. Can you see? So I turn it with the lining. So if you check the waist side now, it will be the same measurements. So after ironing, the next thing I will do, can you see? So I will now open it. After I'm done with my ironing, so I will now open it. Then from the main fabrics, I will now hold it. When you turn it, you see a line, the iron. So I will now hold it. So I will now stitch it from there, so that it will rhyme with the slit part. So I'll go ahead and turn the slit opening. You have to be very careful here. So I've turned it. Can you see? I've stitched it. So I'll go ahead and notch. Can you see what it look like? I will notch it so that it will be easier for me when I'm opening it, when I'm turning it to the right side. After notching, the next thing I will do is to turn it. Then I will go ahead and iron. Can you see my slits? So I will give my dress a very good press. This is the front part. Can you see my slits? So after ironing the front, I will go ahead and iron the back part. Can you see? So I'm done ironing the front. I will go ahead and iron the back part. So after ironing, the next thing I will do is to join the upper part and the down part of my dress together. I will join the upper bodies and the down side together. Always remember to identify the midpoint of both the upper part and the down part. So after joining the front, I will go ahead and join the back together too. Can you see the front? So I'll do the same thing to the back, to the two back side. So I've joined the two back side. So the next thing I will do now is to close the center back, that's the zip part. I'll close it, I'll join them together, then stitch down. So after joining them together, the next thing I will do is to give it a good press. So after that, I will now open it from the neck to where my zip will stop. That will be around my hip. Then I will open it, then face my zip. Can you see that? I've done that already. So the next thing now to do is to join the side, both the front and the back parts of my dress. Remember, this cloth doesn't have shoulder, so I'm joining it from the down from the armhole down to the down parts of my dress. We are almost through to the end of this tutorial. Please, I'm sure you have given this video a thumbs up and you have subscribed to my channel. That's if you are new to my channel. Thank you so very much for coming through. Can you see my dress? So the next thing I will do is to fix the sleeve. I'll fix the sleeve from the armhole. So guys, this is all about this tutorial. This is the end of it. Can you see our dress? This dress is so beautiful. Can you see? Make sure you make this style to for your customer or for yourself. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, share this video so that others will see and learn from it. Thank you so very much and see you in our next tutorial. Bye for now.